Of all the objects the United States government cannot explain, one shows up more than any other. It is not a saucer, it is not a triangle, it is a sphere, silver or white or dark metal, usually the size of a small car, with no wings, no window, no exhaust, and no obvious reason it can fly at all. In 2016, an American surveillance drone filmed one of them gliding over the city of Mosul
in Iraq, and the head of the Pentagon's own office later played that clip for United States senators.
His description was not that it was a weather balloon. His description was that objects exactly like it are being seen all over the world, and that the government does not know what they are. This is the file on the metallic sphere, the shape that keeps appearing on military camera, in war zones, and over American soil, and the 4 cases that turned a strange dot on a screen into the single most common unidentified object on Earth. The first file is Mosul itself. The year is 2016. An American reconnaissance aircraft operating over an active conflict zone has its infrared camera on the city below, and crossing the frame is a small round object moving steadily, giving off no heat signature that matches an engine. No flapping of a drone's wings, no trail. For years, the clip stayed inside the intelligence community. Then, in 2023, the director of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, the office built specifically to run these cases to ground, showed it in a public Senate hearing. He did not say it was a drone. He did not say it was ours. He said on the record that these spherical objects are seen repeatedly around the world and that this one remained unidentified. When the man in charge of solving the mystery uses your tax-funded hearing to admit he cannot solve this one, that is not entertainment. That is a confession. The second file is the pattern the government put in writing. When that same office briefed the Senate on what its cases actually look like, it described a typical unidentified object with unsettling precision, round between roughly 1 and 4 meters across, usually white, silver, or metallic, often near military installations or over water, or above zones that matter. In other words, the sphere is not a fluke that shows up once a decade. It is the baseline. It is the shape the United States military encounters so often that its own analysts treat it as the standard description of unknown. Think about what that means. We are not talking about one weird night over one base.
We are talking about a recurring object with a consistent size and shape
that the most surveilled airspace on the planet keeps recording and keeps failing to identify. The third file is happening right now in the releases coming out this year. In the Pentagon's rolling declassification, the spheres keep coming. A video from 2024 shows a glowing orb hovering over a pond, holding position above the water at an estimated distance of nearly half a mile.
Footage from 2025 over the northeast of the United States captured 2 bright objects moving together through the sky.
Silent, smooth, described by witnesses as either flying in formation or somehow tethered to each other. No sound, no wings, no explanation. These are not archival mysteries from the Cold War. They carry recent dates, they were filmed by credible observers, and the government released them with the same status as everything else in this series. Open, which raises the obvious question, if we have known about the sphere since Mosul, why, a decade later, are we still just filming it? The fourth file takes it back over the ocean and back to a video the whole world has now seen. In 2015, a Navy fighter off the east coast of the United States locked its sensor onto a small object skimming low and fast just above the wave. The crew is audible on the recording, stunned. One of them laughing in disbelief as they realize the thing is real and they cannot catch it. The Department of Defense declassified that footage in 2020 alongside the Tic Tac video and confirmed it was authentic Navy imagery of an unidentified phenomenon. A small round object moving over water beyond explanation. It is the same story as Mosul, the same story as the pond, the same story as the formation over the northeast. Different years, different oceans, different cameras, and the same impossible little sphere. So the file closes here with a shape instead of a single event. From a drone over Mosul to a Navy jet over the Atlantic to a pond in the American heartland, the metallic sphere keeps arriving and the government keeps admitting it has no answer. The Pentagon has not said these are alien, but it has said in hearings and in writing and in the videos it is releasing month after month that its most common unidentified object is a silent metal ball that outperforms our aircraft and ignores our physics. So here is the question it will leave you with. When the same object is filmed for a decade across the entire planet and the people with the best cameras on Earth still cannot name it, is it more frightening that they do not know or that they might? And this is how they are telling us. Tell me in the comment. And if you missed how the government quietly declassified all of this just days ago, that file is on the channel now.